Behind the Counter is brought to you by Audible.com, the internet's leading provider of audiobooks with more than 100,000 downloadable titles across all types of literature. For a free audiobook of your choosing, go to audiblepodcast.com/Andrew. And by Stitcher Radio. Listen on the go via the Stitcher mobile app. For more information, go to stitcher.com/GFQ. All right, hello and welcome everybody to another. Is my mic on?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome everybody to another episode of Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Rich Stan Bowling, and with me as always is the Bayside version of Sam Kinison, John Adler.
Oh!
And with us as always is also the ghost of William Henry Taft. Howard? Henry?
Howard.
I messed that up completely.
William Howard Taft?
William Howard Taft. Dead presidents, bro.
Dead presidents.
The money.
They represent me.
That's what I'm talking about. For some reason, I was just like looking up a lot of Sam Kinison stuff online. I don't know why. I always like Sam Kinison.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Oh!
Oh! I do an awful Kinison.
It's like you stubbed your toe.
Because it caught me off guard. If I had more time to prepare for this Sam Kinison bit.
You got to back away from the mic and do the.
No, I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. No. No.
So we're gonna talk.
We're gonna talk about some stuff.
I'm done. We're gonna talk about all things pop culture related to. I don't want to say pop culture because now it encompasses everything. I want to say more on the comic booky side of pop culture,
but we don't always do that.
The nerdy side of pop culture.
The nerdy side, because I don't even know about that because we talked a great deal about Breaking Bad and Sons of Anarchy, which are not related at all.
Definitely not
either of those things.
Not nerdy shows.
No.
I could see Breaking Bad's like a chemist nerd show.
Yeah, I mean, like all the nerds that I've worked with in the past are now attaching themselves to Breaking Bad because I think they were all stuck in a lot of snowstorms. Like, oh, I heard the show was good.
I want to be Walter White.
I'm gonna make a bunch of quotes now. Say bitch 100 times.
Call everybody biatch. Well, I all think pop culture and nerd related and comic books. A lot big with a heavy dose of comic books.
Heavy dose of comic books.
I know last week I said that, and I started the show off with talking about Die Hard.
Yeah.
Which has been getting bad reviews.
Has it been getting bad? I didn't get a chance to check it out. It's terrible.
But at the same time, I feel like every review I've read is like, if you want to see a guy who's an over-the-hill cop making like self-deprecating quips about himself and about how stuff doesn't really work out, then you should see this movie, guy. C+.
So they hit all my checks. They've nailed it.
So basically, it's a Die Hard movie.
Well, I mean, yeah, but the last one was terrible. The last one was absolutely terrible.
It was god awful.
But this looks so good.
It does.
I was actually like making plans to go see this movie like this weekend.
A big there's always going to be a part of me that is a sucker for like the 80s taglines of movies, and this one I saw an awesome one for this the other day.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Russia.
Yep,
that's the best one. That's one of the best taglines for a film ever.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Russia, because he didn't say the curse word in the last movie.
Yeah,
he was just like Yippee-ki-yay, dude.
Is this
dude?
Is this R?
Huh?
Is this R?
This is R. Yeah.
The last one wasn't R?
No, the last one was PG-13. Which I think was like the downfall of it. And plus you had Timothy Olyphant, arguably one of the best actors working today, being like a complete waste of space in that movie.
Yeah, you know what? That dude gets you underutilized a great deal. Yeah. I mean, he's an awesome character actor. The ladies love him. Do something with him.
Yeah.
Don't waste him on that.
Yeah, and like
horrible movie.
And that's the thing. Like you can't have like
wasn't Matt Guy in that movie also?
Justin Long.
Yeah.
Awful. He was okay in it. He's all right.
I don't know about that.
He plays the same guy in every movie.
I hate him. I've never liked him.
I want to see Die Hard 6 with Bruce Willis and Denzel.
I just want to see Sam come back.
Yeah.
I want to see like a reunited, Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I want to see them drop even more N-bombs than they did in the first time. It's funny watching it now because it's so like that whole opening scene would never be put into a movie nowadays.
Yeah, no, I mean like you have to be so politically correct. Like the first thing I think they ask John McClane is like, "Are you hungover?" And he's like lighting a cigarette, and he's like, "What do I got to do?
Oh, what are you, a faggot?"
Can't say that.
Who says?
Terrible. Guy. Pasta ragu over here from last week.
Oh, bring some pasta out.
I really wish I had a picture of that. I listened to the show from last week, and I was like, I really wish that we had pictures of Andrew eating pasta the entire time. That would have been awesome.
It was really good pasta.
Green pesto.
A lot of comic news this week. A lot of movie news. A lot of cool stuff happened. We're gonna get to a lot of comic book talk.
Are we?
Also, Andrew, if you could I'm gonna try to bang out the stuff I sent them real quick.
Okay.
Like
roll it.
They released the
clip.
The first official picture of Don Cheadle in Iron Man 3 as the Iron Patriot. He's not War Machine in this one.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because I was wondering exactly what they were gonna do with that. They leaked that picture of that armor.
Yeah.
And for a comic fan, it's the Norman Osborn Iron Man armor.
Yeah.
But in Iron Man 2, like the government got control of the thing, so it makes perfect sense that you're segueing into this.
It's also that they're also trying to nail that in before Sony attaches themselves to it because they own Norman Osborn at this point.
Right, yeah.
Plus, they're writing the War Machine. That's basically War Machine now.
Mm-hmm.
They're writing Rhodey into, I believe, in Secret Avengers as Iron Patriot.
Yeah.
Because he sucks as War Machine. He just gets lost in shuffle every single time.
I'm 100% with you on that one.
And it's such a crazy looking armor.
It is. It's really cool looking. I mean, like the way it looks, it seems like it works.
Yeah, it looks. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
When it first, the background on it was first shown in a What If.
Yeah.
It was and it was also to fake out people thinking that Civil War was going to end a certain way,
right?
Because it was like basically Iron Man in that costume with like Captain America's shield, and then they're like, you know what, this thing looks crazy. Norman Osborn running shield would basically be a dick, and put this thing on. And
it made it so psychotic. Like when you see Norman in that armor, it's like he's a psychopath.
Yeah,
man. He's like,
he's awesome.
I'm taking your heroes and I'm mashing them on my clothes, basically.
Yeah,
I'm wearing them.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Which is cool. I'm looking forward to the movie. You also have.
I still think Terrence Howard was a better Rhodey.
I don't know, man. Like I like Don Cheadle more as an actor.
So do I, but I think Terrence Howard was like that's exactly what I want out of Rhodey.
I don't want to say it sound racist, but it's the skin tone. Because Rhodey was always drawn as he was light. He was like a light skin.
He had a brown flat top. He didn't have like a black flat top.
Yeah. He was like a light skinned black dude. Yeah, absolutely. Like the first.
It's the way he carries himself too.
Yeah.
He Don Cheadle, I don't associate immediately as a military guy.
No.
Like Terrence Howard carried himself that certain way. I was very disappointed when I found out he wasn't coming back.
But weren't you also ecstatic that who are they gonna get to replace? Oh, okay, Don Cheadle.
The other guy.
Yeah, like Don Cheadle's awesome.
The other great actor.
You also get I think this week you also have the news that was released that Peter Dinklage is gonna be on board with
so weird.
Days Future Past. And people are like, what's he gonna be? He's gonna be Puck. He's gonna be freaking Puck over here.
I couldn't see him playing anyone but Puck, but I know the argument is that Puck is not a mutant.
Right.
He is a full-grown man who was shrunk down by magic, which I think is incredible. But it's funny too because I read very quickly this morning when they made the announcement, and they also mentioned that Nixon is going to be in the movie. And I was like, oh man, it'd be great if Dinklage played like a little mini version of Nixon.
That'd be phenomenal. I'm putting money on Puck, and I'm also putting money on him being Nimrod.
Ooh.
Which would be kind of.
I don't understand that.
But I mean, like that's the whole who else is he going to be kind of thing, because he has the acting chops to be a believable villain, and Nimrod was the Days Future Past. Like that's essentially what kind of happened,
But what other midgets could they actually, or dwarves, could they do in the canon of X-Men?
Master Mold.
Master Mold's not a little guy.
MODOK.
MODOK, yeah, I'd definitely say that'd be awesome.
But you can have a guy in Master Mold. You can have him as if you want to throw in other canon in it, as Pierce,
Yeah.
But it's
you're writing everyone's little. Everyone in this movie, it's gonna be like Over the Rainbow. It's gonna be all little people playing X-Men. It should be awesome.
As you don't know what the script is gonna be. It's just called Days Future Past.
It would be awesome if they recast Wolverine with Dinklage.
Oh my god,
got the size right.
There's a lot of pictures of Dinklage as Wolverine online now.
Really?
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
There's drawings of him, immediate drawings of Tumblr on as him as Wolverine.
That movie's gonna be terrible though, right?
Yeah,
it's gonna be awful. I guarantee you're gonna find some way to worm out of the Sentinel thing again. I don't know what it is with Bryan Singer and giant robots, but it's not gonna happen.
No, he hates it. The best we got was I think in X-Men 3 you have the danger room battle scene.
Yeah, which was it was mostly in darkness. It was all you saw was the red eyes and then the head on the ground.
Yeah,
so stupid.
It sucks as a comic fan to say I'm not looking forward to another X-Men movie.
Not looking forward to it.
I am looking forward a little bit to the Wolverine movie.
I hope so.
Because I think it's going to be done right, and hopefully it goes for a hard R. I want to see a hard R Wolverine.
It's not going to happen. I can't see them releasing a hard R. That's what we want, and that's what I think the franchise needs. I felt the same way about the last one, where I thought it was going to be really, really awesome, and then it was just like such a piece of garbage.
Well, because you know what, like we're in the same league where like if you see Wolverine jumping at a helicopter, you're sold.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what they did with the trailer. They sold you on.
Oh, they had a great trailer.
You know, and then when I saw them, I saw the movie. I was reviewing movies at the time for a website. And, you know, I'd go to see movies by myself like every other day and just like sit there and review them. And I remember like I got my popcorn, I got like my big soda. I'm sitting there by myself and I was like, this sucks.
It was awful. The best thing was Liv Schreiber playing Sabretooth. He was awesome as Sabretooth.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see more good actors playing mutants, which I think they nailed in X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
I really don't want to see the X-Men brought back. Like, you know, you're getting apparently Anna Paquin back, and I think you're getting Ellen Page back too.
Everyone's pretty much signed on except for Halle Berry, which nobody wants.
And Cyclops, right?
Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah,
as Cyclops.
Yeah. You could do better though.
You think so?
Yeah.
Who would you pick as?
He's doing Cyclops right now.
Who would you pick as a replacement for James Marsden?
Anybody, any basic white actor would do a fine job.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper would be amazing. Matt Damon would be a great Cyclops.
He would be a great Cyclops.
Ben Affleck would be a great one. Any of the white, he would be great. Just throw him in the skull cap. Yeah. And he just got that much.
I got a good Cyclops for you because it seems like Marvel loves recycling actors.
Ryan Reynolds.
No. Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, sure.
Jeremy Renner, good Cyclops.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen though.
No, Hawkeye.
He's locked in there.
He's Hawkeye.
I think that dude is probably one of the most boring human beings on earth.
You think so?
When he's off camera.
Really?
I watched a bunch of interviews recently, and he just does not. He doesn't have a brain. Like he really like when they try and get someone like get him off script of like what he's been saying on the press junket. He's just like it's like watching a robot compute. That's like an old school robot. Yeah, and it's not cool. I don't think
you're getting a feel for his personality either, because for the first couple of years of his career, I would get him confused with Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, who has a great personality, by the way.
Yeah,
and you know, and like also, I always felt like Jeremy Renner may be like one of these like kind of like McConaughey guys, who's just like it'll come out that he's like a like kind of cool hippie dude.
Yeah,
you know, who likes to play drums with Woody Harrelson in like a lodge all weekend.
Yeah, but McConaughey. Well, I mean, I was about to say McConaughey's a better actor, but which is probably true.
Hey man,
yeah, McConaughey's awesome.
Yeah,
McConaughey's he had one of my favorite roles this year as in that movie Killer Joe.
Okay,
see this movie just for the climax.
Yeah,
it's one of the most messed up climaxes I've ever seen in a film. Hey, man. He's great, man. I've always liked him. He was my
high school crush.
He was my high school crush. He was my Jesse Custer.
Oh yeah, I'll go with that.
He like when he was younger, like and he had that you know drawl like knocked down.
He still does.
Yeah, no, he does, but he's just too old for it now. But dude, I love that dude. I don't care what anyone says. Naked bongos, go for it, bro.
There's a weird segue into nothing, but my favorite McConaughey moment. He did an interview on the now defunct George Lopez talk show, like the late night talk show, like maybe a couple of years ago.
You supporting those Latinos still?
One of the greatest interviews ever.
Really?
Yeah, like he showed up and
you used to hate McConaughey. I remember we used to talk about it.
I never had hate for him.
You did not care. Like whenever we do like movie picks, you would be like, you know, you shoot down my McConaughey's because I had him for like 3 different roles.
You know why? In lieu of Josh Holloway.
I can't. I never.
He's my Jesse Custer.
I know. I never. I still don't agree with that. I wouldn't cast him for anything.
Hey man, that's like I want that. I want Hey Man the movie.
I would put him
Woody Harrelson.
I would put him as like a basic Shield agent as a background character.
Yeah,
yeah. I like him, but I don't think he can do anything.
I got a good one for you. Perfect casting: Josh Holloway, Eric O'Grady, Ant-Man.
Yeah, I'd rock that.
Mind blowing.
You know what? No, because she's got to be a little bit younger. You know, Josh Holloway is like. He's one of those dudes who you can't really nail his age.
He's like Dylan McKay.
Yeah, he's just like how old are you really? He's like I'm a teenager.
Hey man, 35,
22,
22
years old.
So we have all that good stuff.
Well, there was I had a point about McConaughey also. The best thing about McConaughey ever was the best role he's ever had, aside from Killer Joe, which is awesome. Is his role on Eastbound and Down.
Oh my god!
I mean he's so good on that.
I thought you were gonna go with Dazed and Confused because everybody quotes Dazed and Confused.
I mean that's great too.
You know, but he's been in a ton of movies too, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't think he's ever been in a superhero flick though.
Nope.
He should be.
Nope.
McConaughey.
He's trying to win himself an Oscar now.
Yeah.
He's trying to like become that like he's crossing over where he's getting like a ton of great roles. He did like 5 roles last year that were all like dynamite, and now I think he's trying to like age into like a really good looking older dude actor that gets serious roles. Like he lost all that weight to play an AIDS victim.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Wally West.
him?
Yeah. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Better than Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
The go-to.
I would never go for Ryan Reynolds either.
Yeah.
I would go for Bradley Cooper.
Which is such a weird thing because this is the good segue. Geoff Johns, because he's leaving Green Lantern. Yeah, exactly.
What?
I've like Brubaker leaving Cap. I was like, okay, it's been a while.
Well, at that point, you were kind of hoping that he would leave. He was getting really tired.
But it was like understandable, Geoff Johns leaving Green Lantern. I was like, impossible.
Yeah,
like this is impossible. Can we get that picture of Geoff Johns up there real quick?
Well, you associate him directly with Green Lantern. It's like it's his baby.
Yeah,
that's the picture we chose for. We should have got
the Meet the Creators picture. I think
we should have got the architects or whatever picture. The one that was advertised at Comic-Con.
I think that was it. This is the
there was a worse one.
This one is the killer still in the house picture. And
it sucks. I hate looking at that guy.
But you have the weird thing about like his run with Green Lantern, which I'm sure he had nothing to do with, was the fact that Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern.
Awful.
And we have
an awful movie.
There's like a picture of Ryan Reynolds that I brought for the show. Well, there's that one. There's the meme, which is how I feel.
Roll the film.
But there's he's leaving Green Lantern. That's the whole Green Lantern core. Trying to get this right. It's Ryan, actually. Which is kind of like it looks kind of cool on paper. I doubt Geoff Johns had anything to do with that.
Does that look cool?
And as every fan felt, it's the reaction that everybody got is the other one that you highlighted.
He looks terrible. I hate that costume.
Mm-hmm. No, that's not.
He looks terrible too.
What's up, Geoff Johns?
I think
it's the one I put. That's exactly
that guy.
like,
guy like Brian.
That's how you feel.
Guy like Brian.
Wait's whole life for a Green Lantern movie has Ryan Reynolds in it.
Did you write that?
No, I found that on the internet.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a meme with that guy. Can we just have that guy up for the rest of the show? No, don't do it, Andrew.
That movie sucked. I saw that movie in the theater, and that was the only movie I really wanted to walk the hell out of.
Best part was Mark Strong.
Yeah, but Mark Strong's good in everything. Like you can put him into a movie where he crushes puppies under his heels, and it'd still be a really
Oscar.
Yeah, he'd be awesome.
But 8 years.
Love that man's hairline.
8 years. He brought Hal Jordan back. He reestablished the core.
He did an incredible job. He made people care about Green Lantern for the first time in a long time. He made everything make sense. He established the emotional spectrum. He gave us all these different lanterns, for better or for worse. Yeah, man, he is I think probably the most important Green Lantern writer since
ever.
Yeah. I don't think there is. I mean, people talk about Gil Kane doing his work, and people tend to love what's that dude's name who did it in the 90s? Who did all the
Ron Mars.
So everyone associates. Now, Ron Mars, I think he fits the role of being a Green Lantern writer. Oh yeah. But I don't see him as like, oh, what a great Green Lantern writer. I think the best thing he did was probably the fall of of Hal Jordan.
I liked all the Kyle Rayner stuff too.
I hate the Kyle Rayner stuff. It's so boring.
I don't mind it. I like it.
The beginning is very good.
Where Major Force smashes his girlfriend into the refrigerator.
Yeah, like that stuff is awesome. Yeah, it's perfect. Create a whole. That's like the beginning of a darker edge in DC. But I really never cared for his Kyle Rayner. That was like the milquetoast version of
your Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Well, also like the thing with Geoff Johns is that he was known for his run on Flash before he tackled Green Lantern, and it was a phenomenal run. And then all of a sudden you get Green Lantern, and you're like, oh my god, this is even better.
Yep. He did the Green Lantern Rebirth with Van Scriver, and really that set up the formula for it. And he took the ball running. He's been writing it for almost 10 years now, right?
Yeah, it's 8 years. 8 years. Yeah. It's coming to an end. But and
he's bringing, and also the whole thing is that it's not just him who's leaving. It's the entire creative team behind all the Green Lantern books across the board. So everyone's absconding their books.
So now you're left with two questions: where is he going to go to now, and who is going to replace him?
I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going to supplement a book.
No.
I mean, it makes sense. This happens directly after DC's big summit we just had, which coincided with Marvel's summit as well. But I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be replaced by Jeff Lemire.
I'd like that.
They threw Bleeding Cool threw up a bunch of names the other day. Victor Grishler, he's the guy who wrote all the vampire stuff for X-Men.
I'm very well aware.
Just to let you know. Don't ever forget that name.
Yeah.
There's another name that was thrown in the hat, but there's again, there's not a lot of people to pick from. I mean, Jeff Lemire is the guy who they're just trying to like break his back over the amount of work he's going to be doing.
I think he's going to be one of their go-tos. I think it's going to be a little tough for him to handle the book load, but I believe in the guy, man. The guy's a solid writer.
He's awesome, and this dude's like completely an indie writer who is transformed into an incredible superhero writer. But the thing is, just like you have to fill in all those spots. I mean, you had Tomasi, you had. I
think Milligan was doing some stuff.
Milligan's doing some stuff on. He's doing the Red Lantern stuff. Who was doing Corpse?
I'm not really.
Tomasi, I think, was doing one of them. And it'd be nice to see Tomasi on another book. He's a solid writer also.
Yeah.
And I think I think they've all hit their limit, their story wise. Where they're supposed to go with it. Like I don't know where Green Lantern would go at this point.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, the Guardians, turning bad guy. You've done all the like the great thing about the Geoff Johns run was he was kind of unfolding it as we went over time, where he was kind of just feeding us, a new Lantern every few months.
Because it was all brand new.
Yeah, he was making a brand new universe for the Green Lantern to play in, while still keeping it core, like the core, what it should be and the storylines in the right place. But whoever's coming in has huge shoes to step in. I really don't know. I don't know who I'd want to see. It's probably gonna be Keith Giffen.
That's fine too.
But Keith Giffen is just like that dude will go on any book and then he'll stick around for like half a story arc and then he's out.
I feel like what they would do is you're gonna have that transitionary period where it's not gonna jump into something new. You're gonna probably get some like decent Hal Jordan stories.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple fill-in writers. You're gonna get like the story with Hal Jordan and his dad. You're gonna get like the one-offs, and then they're gonna announce like the big creative team. I also feel like with like such a legacy on the main title that you need a
big name,
like not even a big name, but a solid name and a solid you need a good art team and like you're a very solid writer. Like hopefully somebody that won't honestly if it was like Lemire and Jim Lee doing Green Lantern, all right, that's cool.
That would definitely pull a crowd in there, but. I don't know what I don't know if who would really step in as because those are I don't know what I would want out of a Green Lantern book at this point.
Okay,
just like how a lot of people lost interest in Green Lantern over the years, and when Johns came on, no one really cared about Green Lantern.
But it's been the status quo. Like Johns' writing has been the status quo.
That's the thing.
That's like seeing Bendis leave any kind of Ultimate Spidey stuff.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like all right. So you look at Marvel, where they did they upended almost every single major creative team. Bendis leaving Avengers was a big, huge deal. But you hear Remender and Hickman are coming on, like awesome. No problem. But I hear Hickman might be leaving Avengers now.
Oh, it sucks
because he's co-writing with Sam Humphries, and that's what. Is like when you get a co-writer, that means that guy is slowly gonna be taking over. But that is powerful. Like unless you're getting like a Scott Snyder or Brian Azzarello, which would never happen.
That would be awesome.
That would be really, really good. But I can't see that happening.
I would love to see a Brian Azzarello kind of like noir Green Lantern story with like maybe one of the Legend Lanterns.
That would be like a Green Lantern quarterly book. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Just the crime stuff that happens, Well,
because you have Green Lantern, you have Green Lantern Corps, you also have Green Lantern New Guardians,
right?
And Red Lanterns. It's a lot of books, man. A lot of creative teams. And why would they do this at this point too? When they're being criticized greatly for upending a lot of these creative teams and like constantly changing their focus. So as much as I don't think Geoff Johns is going to be going to another book, he might have to fill in some of these gaps that are going on because he's not going to even be writing Justice League that much longer.
Yeah. It's a shame too because like I feel like the guy like you've seen him on such major books that I feel like he can contribute to the lesser characters, you know, like that are in kind of like dire need right now, you know. You know, you already have Lemire on Green Arrow, but he would have been my pick for Green Arrow too. Like a revitalization of that franchise.
And you know, the thing is, they really want to make a solid Green Arrow book because of the success of the TV show.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of a good draw. It's an interesting draw with the Green Arrow stuff because, like, I've watched a couple episodes of the TV show and I don't really like it. You know, it's not that great.
The argument for it is very good though. Like, I don't care for it either, but I understand. Like, I appreciate that they stick in all the B and C level characters in the show instead of just like making up. Like, I read this article on Topless Robot about, you know, comparing to Smallville and why it's not Smallville, where for the longest time Superman was fighting, or Clark was fighting, you know, a guy who had meteor powers again, or someone who got like a space powers or something like that. And like, why would you do that when you have, you know, 1,000 characters you can pull from?
Right.
And that's exactly what Arrow's doing. Like, they're fighting the Royal Flush Gang, and he's
Deathstroke.
fighting, you know, Deathstroke and Count Vertigo.
Yeah.
And the Count Vertigo, did you read the thing about Count Vertigo? It's pretty awesome. Instead of making him an actual count, it's like they call him, you know, his name is Vertigo because he's got the powers. But they call him Count because the way that he's like killing people is that they have like marks on their neck.
Okay.
So they think he's like, you know, a vampire. So they call him, like, the cops are calling him Count Vertigo.
Okay.
And the Royal Flush Gang were dudes who were a family who started to start robbing banks, and they wore
plumbers.
They wore like you know, masks that had, like, you know, an ace mark or a king mark or whatever.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, I appreciate, you know, the novelty of what they're trying with instead of just like,
Show could be a little better.
yeah, absolutely. Listen, there's no illusion in my mind. They are gearing it towards a Smallville crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
It still has all those sensibilities.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, like the dynamic of that, of bringing them into the book is cool when you have a good writer to, like, if somebody wanted to pick up the Green Arrow book now, you know, they'll get a good story. As opposed to, like, the first 16 issues where I was just like, what?
Speaking of which, too, I read Injustice this week, which is a digital exclusive that's now going to print, which is about, you know, it's based on the video game.
Right.
This was an incredible issue because the whole issue dealt with Green Arrow and Harley Quinn.
Okay.
And he had the Harley Quinn, and he had the facial hair.
Oh, awesome!
And she brings up a good point. He's like, "Oh, where?" He captures her, and he brings her to the to his base. He's like, "Oh, what's this place called?" He's like, "The Arrow Cave." And he goes, "She's like, that's retarded. It's, you know, shouldn't you call it the Quiver?" And he's like, "That's actually a really good idea." It was an awesome issue.
Did he say, "I'm gonna make you quiver"?
No,
should have.
No,
that's an Ollie thing, bro.
He ties her. He actually, the book ends with she mentions she has a fake mustache, and he's like, "Why do you have a fake mustache?" And he's like, "You know, why wouldn't you have a fake mustache?" And she goes, "Can you please just leave before you leave? Can you just do like a maniacal laughter?" Because she's like reminiscing about Joker. He's dead. He's like, "Can you just do a maniacal laugh?" He's like, "No." And then he's walking away. And he starts doing it, and the last panel is like, you know, the ha ha ha's all around Harley Quinn while she's tied up wearing her fake mustache. It's so crazy.
It's really weird. It's a really weird book.
And it wasn't to be continued. It was just the end.
Oh, wow.
It had nothing to do with Superman. It had nothing to do with Batman. It was, this book is weird.
Bananas.
Sells out every week. Huge book.
This is the best book that nobody's reading right now.
No, a lot of people are reading this book, surprisingly.
We also had the season premiere of Walking Dead.
How'd you feel about that?
You've heard about it, right?
I heard about it.
You watched the show, right?
I do, a little bit.
How did I feel about it?
How do you feel about it?
How'd you feel about it? Did you watch it?
Can you tell me what happened?
We're gonna tell you what happened.
Okay,
because I stopped. I'm done with it.
Yeah?
When did you stop?
Once you realize that they're never going to tell you what the virus is.
No, that was actually a little hurtful, but I stopped this season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I stopped after like 2 episodes.
This was the best season, too.
I don't know.
Disagreeable. First season was the best season for me.
No way.
Yeah.
First one was the best.
First season sucked.
I wasn't crazy about the whole
CDC thing.
Yeah, the CDC crap.
That's
sucked.
Kind of weird. All right.
You know what I've been doing? Actually, sorry to interrupt you. On YouTube, this guy posts like a 10-minute like summary of the entire season.
I bet he's great.
It's amazing.
No disrespect, but could I finish? So my take on it.
Yeah,
I was a little let down by the season premiere.
I was really let down
because I was
in denial also about it.
It was great. It was great, John. The thing for me was that they teased.
Disaster.
They teased. I actually wrote about it on my website on richstandbowling.com. If anybody wants to read
Holler
it.
at me.
So sorry, Andrew. it was anticlimactic in the way that they tease the governor versus Rick so hard, and there's
nothing. There's no governor.
There's no governor. Nothing happens, and you also the thing with Daryl and Merle, the fact that it got wrapped up in 2 minutes kind of left a bad taste.
Bobby loved it. Bobby loved it.
Did he?
Of course he
did. That they survived.
Everything. He loved the whole episode.
Because Bobby loves his brother.
Yes. let me count the ways of what I hated about this episode.
Go.
I thought, well, number one, I thought it was kind of clever that, because I originally thought that they were going to go right into the governor's plan of like sending Merle to infiltrate the crew, like infiltrate the prison crew. But that would have been more interesting if they just didn't have like, you know what, my brother's still around. I'm going to go see you guys later. Yeah. I'm not going to say goodbye to anybody. Carol will understand. It was retarded.
She'll get it.
It was retarded.
Also, this is the point I want to make on that is which I also wrote about on my website is the fact that I don't like the fact how in the Kirkman book you have like it's very Game of Thrones where it's like anybody could die at any given moment and you have that element of danger. You never have like the hero moments. It set up Daryl to be Han Solo. It set him up so hard to be Han Solo, where it's like, you know, in the first movie, Han Solo's like, all right, kid, fortune and glory. I'm out, even that's an Indiana Jones thing. He's like, you know, like, I'm out of here, kid, like fortune and glory. Catch you on the flip side. And he leaves with Chewbacca. And then at the end, he's like, I love you, kid. And shows up with the headset, you know, in the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to happen with Daryl. You know, he's going to convince Merle that everybody's great. And then he's going to ditch Merle.
I'm sick of Merle.
You know,
I am so sick of Merle. So do I. Listen, I'm playing. You'll kind of scoff at this, but I'm playing Call of Duty right now.
Scoff.
And he does a voice for it. Okay. And it's, you know, he's that distinctive, crazy voice.
Are you playing Black Ops 2?
Yeah, pretty awesome. Not for nothing. I play the single player. It's an action movie. Yeah. Die Hard sucks, so I'm gonna play this game. But you know what? It's every scene he's in, he just takes it over. Like by force of just like being this like abrasive dude, and like that arm looks terrible.
It does,
and it kind of proved to me also that they're not going to cut off Rick's hand.
He was the trial run.
Yeah, because it's not going to work. It's going to look awful. If that's what they're going to do with it, they're not going to cut his hand off. I think the best thing going for the show right now is Carl. I thought Carl was really good.
Disagree.
I really think. Well, I think this season is probably the best thing to be Tyrese.
Okay,
because he's the best. Like that, I do love the actor. I hate the dynamic of the prison. I think they've ruined the prison. Herschel is awesome on the show. Herschel has really become like one of my favorite characters in the show.
Okay,
but he's becoming what's his name? Dale. Yeah, they're running his part.
Do you think he should have played Dale from day one?
Yes,
but I like the actor who played Dale.
So did I. I think he's great, but they didn't go the way that you wanted Dale to go to.
My favorite part of this first episode is they really key into the fact that Rick is going bananas.
I hated that.
Really?
Oh man, did I hate that?
I love that.
You know what? that is probably one of the worst endings I've seen of any show. And I watch a lot of garbage, and that whole thing of like, he's like, everyone's staying around like, Papa, can we let the young black family come into our prison? Man. And he's like, no. And he's walking around, he's doing the face shake and everything, and then the ghost of Lori shows up, which is so dumb. The phone thing is so good. I think it's so retarded to show her. I think that that whole like visit, like the verbal, like no, and Tyrese is like, get out of here.
Yeah, he was like, all right, whatever you gotta do, bro.
You don't recover from this.
I think
they kill him off.
That was my favorite part of.
He's also gonna bang. What's her name?
Carol?
No, the one that Carl's gonna
try to bang. Yeah, the show's getting weird.
It's gonna get really weird.
That's my favorite part. See, it's so weird that it's like polarizing us because like my favorite part was the Rick going crazy thing because it came out of nowhere and he just shows up and he's just like, talking to you no more.
So dumb.
Everybody get out of here. And then like Tyrese was just like, let's go, please, let's go. This guy is crazy. I like that whole dynamic with like Tyrese and the other guys where like he's trying to like
make the best of it.
And try to protect everybody. I could see him living and everybody else dying. I hope he doesn't get killed by the governor like he does in the comics.
It's not gonna happen.
I also feel like everybody else is like kind of cannon fodder at this point. Like the chick that Carl has, like she has a thing for Carl, like the young girl. I think she's gonna bite it. I think Herschel's gonna bite it.
Can we just like make decision on that show also that Andrea sucks and we can just kill her off at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
They could really like.
So is Michonne.
I hate her.
I think I still think she has potential.
Okay.
I do like, you know what it is, because you've only had that one facet of the character. You haven't seen like the full facet. I know she's a good actress. I know she can do it.
Right.
I think they realize that they have to do a little bit more with her. I think they're ruining Glenn. I think that
his eye makeup was terrible.
Awful. I think it looked like he was trying to do like the like Spud McKenzie, like the dog eye thing, that the ring.
Yeah.
You know what it is, because Andrea, she's such a great character in the book, and she's always been a great character in the book. You know, you can make as many defenses as you can about the psychology of her, and that speech he did was awful. I can't believe who wrote this show. It was so dumb. And I really think that you can supplement her for Maggie at this point.
Yeah.
You know, Maggie can take the role because she's the badass. She's the good looking one. You know, like, you're attached to her already.
Right.
And I think you'll definitely get like I think Rick is gonna end up banging her also.
Yeah, I don't think you're not gonna get I don't think you're gonna get the Rick Andrea romance.
No, it's awful. I would not want to see that at this point.
You're getting the return of Han Solo Daryl, and you know he's Carol's Princess Leia, and you're gonna have like that weird like, I came back for you, Freckles.
She's not bad either, Carol.
Yeah,
she's actually like, she was a character I thought was complete cannon fodder, and they actually did a good job with her.
They did a really good job with her. The other problem that
I would not sleep with her.
Yeah, you would.
No,
it's
that hair, man.
I'm telling you, zombie apocalypse.
Something's up with her because she's got that hair in all of her movies.
Zombie apocalypse now.
All
right.
I'd work on the kid.
That's the other thing I wanted to bring up. The fact that, you know, like, what are they going to do next season when that kid is 8 feet tall?
Well, I mean, with all TV shows, like
Peter Dinklage.
I think for any of these shows, you have to kind of make believe that there's a ton of time going on between each episode, and that there's like a weird time thing. It's just like, you know, Game of Thrones. Those kids started out as like, you know, toddlers, and now by the time they get to the third season, they're going to be, you know, grown men and women. You know, Arya's going to be a full blown woman by the time you get to the fourth season. It's something you have to deal with.
But for some reason, on Game of Thrones, it's more believable to me because like they never tell you how much time passes.
Yeah, but in the books they do. They say like directly, this is like a year of time. You know, yes, but I think the same thing with Walking Dead is that, you know, whatever timeline we've had in the books is gone.
Yeah,
you know, because they did a time jump this year. You know, with it started off with like they've been together for like 6 months now. Running around. So they'll probably do the same thing. I really don't think they're gonna play out at all the way that the comic did. Yeah. The dynamic is completely different. It's not laid out the same in any way. The relationships are completely different. And I think they're gonna be big pussies and not do what they're supposed to do.
You think it's gonna be more of like kind of like it's a mainstream hit at this point. I think it's gonna be even more of a mainstream hit because like you're getting those hero moments that you don't find in the comics. You know, you're getting those weird like quirky sappy TV show sitcom-y moments.
Yeah,
you know,
and the ratings reinforce all that behavior. You know, like I think it could be an incredible show, and it really is not what I want. It is the most uneven show I've ever dedicated myself to. Okay, I'll be watching it until like, you know, it's over. Yeah. But it's basically a hate watch most of the time. Okay, I've honestly hated 75% of the show. Okay, I'm very dissatisfied with. I think because the source material is so awesome.
Yeah, I'm 50-50, and I'm trying not to go by the source material.
I try not to, but it's hard.
It's very hard. It's very hard watching it on Sunday night as a fan, and then like not griping about it because you get caught in that weird like brain paradox of like, I can't be like that.
You know what also hurts it too? I think the Talking Dead commercials.
Chris Hardwick's voice.
Well, the whole the delivery is like, did you just see what happened? Tune into the Talking Dead and check out the scene. Check out a new scene on Comic Man on Thursday. Yeah. Like that entire like, you know, feeding into itself like Ouroboros crap is awful. Awful.
I shouldn't talk smack about like another nerd / host or whatever. But the reason I can't watch Talking Dead is because Chris Hardwick's voice drives me up a friggin' wall.
Well, this week also was the combined effort of Chris Hardwick and Kevin Smith, and Kevin Smith was driving me absolutely insane.
Why?
I can't stand him. I cannot stand Kevin Smith. I want him to die at this point.
Wow.
I do not.
That's horrible.
This
is a horrible thing to say.
I cannot stand him. I want to choke him with his own fat.
If you met Kevin Smith last week, how you said you'd fight who's going to show up? Brock Lesnar. Last week you said you were going to fight Brock Lesnar. This week you're gonna. If you met Kevin Smith and like, if let's say
no, it's not like that. It's not like a virgin here. I know he's done good in his life.
Let's say we were at Blog World this year, right? And Kevin Smith was there promoting something, right? And then he comes up to you and goes, "Hey man, you know, like I heard what you," because he watches everything. I heard what you said about me on your show with Rich. Let's go, bro.
Let's go. I'd fight him. Yeah, I'd fight him. If he tried to call me out on what I said, I'd probably backpedal. But
not in public. Just like a me and you conversation of just like, hey, listen, I know what you said.
And he wants to fight me. I'll fight him.
I don't appreciate the fact that you want to choke me.
I will fight that hockey shirt wearing, basketball short rocking, greasy haired.
You'd have to
self-propriating like ugh.
Damn, you hate Kevin Smith.
I do.
This episode is going to be called John Hates Kevin Smith.
I want him to do Red State over and over again. Like I want him to do that.
Good movie.
Yeah, but he's doing other Clerks. Like I can't. I'm tired of it.
You'd have to let him.
He's not a 20-year-old anymore.
Okay, that's fair enough.
And just like a human being.
You'd have to let him get the first punch in though.
No.
Yeah, because you're the one who said you were going to kill him.
Screw that.
You have to let him get that. The rule of honor. You have to.
That is not even part of the rule of honor.
I talk smack about you. You confronted me. You get the first punch.
That has never been the case in any fight through any rule of honor thing. It's just like, you know, you talk smack about me. He goes, damn right. And they throw the gauntlet down. They fucking fight.
I think anybody's throwing any gauntlet down. I want you to fight Kevin Smith at Blog World.
No problem. Is he going to be a Blog World?
Are we going to Blog World this year?
Is he going to be a Blog World?
Are we banned? No.
What?
Never mind. We had a great time last year at Blog World.
We did.
Some awesome cheeseburgers after too.
Oh yeah. Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Where'd we go?
We went to Twins.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
That's pretty good. We ate a bunch of stuff.
Yep.
I can't. Can we call this episode John Hates Kevin Smith?
Fine.
I can't. The ire just showed up out of nowhere. I will agree though that like, you know, like he's like the spokesman of nerds, and I'm still a fan. You know, I like watching like all this stuff. But I also feel like if it was me, like I would be rocking, like I would be like a rapper when it comes to style. I would be rocking the freshest clothes, you know?
Yeah.
Just because I got the money to do it.
Yeah.
You know? I'll piss all my money away.
But there's other ways to be comfortable. I understand you're a fat guy trying to hide your fat, but like a hockey shirt or a gigantic, you know, XXX hoodie and basketball shorts are awful.
That's how I dress.
You're grown up.
I dress when you come over my house.
But you're not on camera like that. Like right now, you're on camera and you're dressed better than I am. I'm wearing fleece sweatpants and a Gogo Rodello thing. You're wearing jeans and a t-shirt.
It would be awesome if Kevin Smith actually talked about you on his next podcast.
Fantastic.
And was like, I hate the way John dresses. I hate his glasses. I hate his beard. I hate his face.
Bring it, Kevin Smith.
I wish I had another. You know what? Like, I wish I had another picture up there. This is like a weird tangent that I'm going to go on, but I don't know if you know who Rutledge Wood is.
The name sounds familiar. I should know a person named Rutledge Wood.
He's on the American version of Top Gear, and both. I like the show. I like him. I like the show. This is not a knock on him. This is the fact that like me and him have a very similar body type.
I want to look him up
with the same kind of like head, right? And he's selling T-shirts of like a silhouette with like him and glasses, with like glasses and like a beard. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, I wish I could have capitalized on selling T-shirts with like my head shape. You know?
Yeah. I mean, well, there's not many people that can actually pull that off. They usually have some type of deformity or distinctive.
If you go to his website and
I'm checking him out,
just Google it and then go to the merch section, you'll see what I'm talking about.
This guy looks like a complete dick.
He's actually pretty funny. He's awesome. He seems like a really nice dude. But this is not a car show.
I have no patience for car shows.
I love car shows.
He loves cars. Yeah. He's a weirdo car guy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a weird. It's not a secret, but it's kind of like.
It was. I never knew this until he actually drove. Because most of the time that I've known him, Rich didn't drive, and for a long time. And then he gets a car, and I'm like, did you just like gain this hobby? He's like, no, I've always loved cars. And I was like, so surprised.
So you're like big into cars.
He's huge into cars.
You know, I've been looking to do a car show for like 2 years now.
I know.
Are you really?
I
think we've had this conversation before.
Don't put me in Groundhog Day right now.
You're in.
It's happening. When I used to sit over there in the by the wall, we had this conversation like 25 times. He interviewed my friend about it. Remember?
Yep. That's what I was bringing up.
Yeah.
Didn't work out too well.
That's exactly why you want to do the car show.
Why do I?
No, that's exactly why you want to do the car show, just because that other one didn't work out.
Oh, no. I had another one prior to that and didn't work out.
Yeah, I remember that. We were telling me about that. Anyway, so comic books.
You got 10 minutes.
We do? Oh, all right. We'll bang out the Walking Dead number 107 came out this week.
Good.
Fantastic issue.
Very good.
Very solid, extremely wordy. I like how it was like one of those like, oh my God, what are they going to do to Carl? What are they going to do to Carl? And the reveal was
nothing.
Hey, buddy, if you let me finish, I didn't do nothing to Carl.
Well, I think both the big issues this week were exercises and restraint in terms of like expectation.
Very eloquent.
Thank you.
Like that.
I got to school.
What was the what was the other comic book that we should talk about this week?
Batman.
Yeah. Number 17.
Yeah. Huge issue.
Batman number 17, the end of the death of the family storyline.
Isn't that a great cover?
Phenomenal cover. You ended the last
Capullo's leaving the book possibly too. That's a shame.
It's a shame.
So, in this issue, we've got the big culmination of Joker's massive plan of proving his love for Batman and destroying the family while doing so. And it's just a rocking issue.
Yeah.
And what's great about it all turns out to be like a gigantic joke on both their parts, on both Batman and Joker. We have been speculating about a death because the book is called Death of the Family.
Yeah.
And you get none.
So metaphorical.
Yeah. You get none. Yeah. You get nada.
Well, you get the death of the relationship, basically.
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, I think that's where they're going. That they definitely want to see a separation between Batman and the rest of the family, and let them do their own thing and make him the loner again. But it seemed I don't think that's the most effective part of it. I think that it kind of came across as like it's kind of like they're rubbing the shoulders the wrong way.
Yeah.
But I think the most effective part of it was the reinforcement of the relationship of Joker and Batman.
Okay.
The fact that Joker has, you're thinking that he knows who Bruce Wayne is,
right,
or who Batman is at this point, but he never went fully into the cave,
right,
because he didn't want to know,
right,
and that they're enforcing that. But here's my thing: he still kidnapped Alfred and put him at the table, so he has to know something.
Yeah, or he was just playing by luck because he knows that Batman's always like saving Bruce Wayne and like all this other weird.
Yeah, but why would you have Alfred be taking care of like the Robins and Batgirl and?
He's arguably the most famous butler in Gotham City.
I that was the only thing I go with. That was the one thing I could not really put my finger on. Okay. Of like, if he doesn't know the whole thing.
Well, the issue played out really well. It was like a nail biter. And it also confirmed my suspicions with the way he wrote it. As Scott Snyder said in an interview that he was like, I really wanted to make him like a horror movie villain. And the issue opens up with Joker having your Batman tribe all with bloody bandages on their faces, and it looks like he serves them their own faces,
which is awesome
for dinner, which is fantastic. And then like Batman breaks free, and he's just like, I hate you more than anything on earth.
Yeah,
like you have like that.
But I love you.
Yeah, you have like that crazy moment, and then Damien is like, "Is my face okay? It's okay, right?
Yeah,
like it's okay. It's not gonna bother me if my face is gone."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God, like you're okay," and like everybody's okay. And then like you have that crazy dynamic with like Batman re-explaining like why he can't kill this guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, you really think he's going to do something? I thought Damien was going to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but as we talked about before, that they're saving the Damien stuff for the other book.
For Incorporated.
Yeah.
Right. Which apparently is going to make you cry when it's over.
Listen, they're going to kill Damien.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind they're going to be killing Damien by the end of the story.
Okay.
No, don't say that.
But this issue it was great. It got mixed reviews, I know. But it being like, like some people were saying
because of their strength.
Because they were thinking it was going to be like a really balls to the wall, like major thing.
Well, look at it this way. Like this kind of proves like what type of writer Snyder is, because this is like the third major story that we got from him regarding Batman. The first storyline, we've had the Court of Owls. You had the payoff of the Bruce Wayne brother, which you don't really know if it's true and probably is not true. So he's good at teasing.
Right.
That element, like even Black Mirror, the best thing that he did was set up James Jr., Jim Gordon's son, without creating a major death, and it was very high stakes. Same thing. So he's following the rules of Batman, Robin, and Batman and Joker, where these people are not going to kill each other. You're not going to find out who these people are.
I'm going to make you think they are.
All I still want to know is what the significance of the Joe's Garage thing was.
Yeah,
that's only thing I'm curious about at this point. Why he was wearing that outfit and what was the significance of it. I want to directly ask Snyder that.
Well, my favorite moment in the book, or I should say one of them, but the one that really sticks out to me that you mentioned that was when, you know, Batman had him over the ledge and he's like whispering to him like, I know who you are, and like your name is. Yeah. Joker thought he knew who he was, and he just purposely let himself go. Yep. Off the cliff. Yeah. You know.
Which is also interesting too, because it's the cliff that you dive into to go into the cave.
Right.
So he's falling into the cave at this point.
Yeah.
So at this point, maybe Joker's running around the cave.
You never know. But like, wasn't the end of the issue saying like, you know, there's no trace of him.
Yeah.
There's only like this and that.
He's also
like,
still missing a face.
Like the fact that you know, Batman looks up the components of like that fear gas. Like the Joker gas, and it's like, you know, all the alternate name for it, and it's like HA is the symbol, and all you see is like the joke's on you, Batman. Yeah. Like, I kind of messed your family up, because they don't, like, nobody knows what Snyder didn't write it in, what Joker said to each of these people individually. Yeah, you know, which I think is like, it adds to the Joker character.
Well, it's also if you read the tie-ins, you kind of know exactly what happens. You know, like, you know, he you know, that was really the effective part of reading the tie-ins, to know exactly what he addressed and how he messed up their relationship.
He just pushed everybody's buttons.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that, you know, like, Batman's kind of like, he has to like patch things up, but also it's like a wake-up call for the Bat family at this point, saying like, you know what, like, this guy, like, I don't know why Bruce is still keeping this guy around. Like, everybody's saying that. Everybody's been saying that for years, you know. I liked Batman and Robin, the whole, because I read that right after Batman.
Yeah, me too.
It was all their dreams.
It was awesome.
Alfred's dream was that he blew Joker's head off.
Yeah, that was an awesome panel.
And then he went back to sleep soundly.
Yeah. No, it's interesting too, because like, all right, so you're reading that issue, and you know, you're reading the rumors about, you know, Damian being killed off. That pretty much was a send off to like, to Damian, if that's happening in the next like month or two.
Yeah, yeah.
And next issue is also, they're focusing, the next issue of Snyder's issue comic is going to be focusing on that new character, Harper's Row,
right?
Who is like the hacker, you know, dragon tattoo type of chick that's hanging out with Batman, who is more than likely going to be the new Robin.
You think so?
Absolutely.
I just feel like they're not going to kill Damian. I'm not sold on that. Like,
check it out. You know how they're doing this, like the WTF month of DC, where it's the half covers. So they reveal it's every cover in that month is going to have a gatefold. So we've seen the first side of it. We haven't seen the other side. So one of them for, I think, Batman and Robin is just Batman. And the other side is like the WTF moment.
Okay.
More than likely it's going to be a new Robin.
Okay.
Why are you taking this much time after every storyline of introducing this, you know, dark-haired chick who is an orphan, who has a questionable past, who is teaming up with Batman?
Okay.
I am sold completely on it.
It's too, like, see, I feel like for me as a fan, it's too Carrie Kelly for me, you know, and it's just kind of
the girl
like,
thing.
Yeah. I don't care if Robin's a girl or not, but you also had Spoiler, and that didn't work out, you know. Like, I'd rather have her in like that weird, remember Harold?
Yeah,
like
no, I would rather them stick with Damian at this point. I understand, like, it's Morrison's character, and he wants to send it off the way that he wants to send it off. But I fell in love with this relationship, especially in Tomasi's Batman and Robin.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That is such a dynamic book, and that is basically Robin's book. So I'm. It's gonna be weird.
Yeah,
I'd rather not.
It's gonna be very weird, especially like. But the pros and cons for, like, the pros for and pros against is the one pro is that you can kill him off at this point, because I feel like Morrison could see into the future with the respect of, like, he gets like a gut feeling as to where DC's going as a whole. So he's like, you know what, I can kill this guy off, I can save this creation, and when the new thing happens, we'll bring him back. You know. Or, you know, like again, and that's like the con of him staying in the universe is like, if they keep him, if he gets kept alive, what's going to happen after that? You know? Yeah. But I want to see him. I want to see the kid around. Like, I love.
Me too. I think you have so much more potential to do more with this character.
And plus, like, not, and that's the thing. Like, it's going to be heart wrenching. But the only Robin who stayed dead was Spoiler.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know.
Yeah. Well, she came back.
Did she?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yep. They just wrote her out of continuity afterwards.
Okay.
She came back as Spoiler.
All right.
And the whole thing was like, but she was never killed.
Oh, yeah. Remember? That's right. Yeah. I do remember that.
Not a good story. So after this whole rigmarole with Joker, we're now going into Snyder's Riddler story.
Yeah.
Which he's very happy about.
Man, I can't wait, man. He's got a big field to play with.
Plus, we still have to, back in Batman #0, the whole issue was about Red Hood.
Right.
Joker being, Red Hood. And apparently they said that, around this time, they're going to start going into a follow up on that because it's a very incomplete storyline.
Yeah.
So I think we are going to get another Joker storyline before we know it. Because I was just reading an interview with him today on Comics Alliance, and he actually said, like, he likes to take a character, do his thing, and then, kind of leave him in the box for a little while.
Right.
He said he immediately had another Joker storyline, like, cranked up where he's ready to bring him back again.
Well, the cool thing about that interview, too, is, like, how he turned around and said that he was like, I could get fired tomorrow. I just wanted to get this out of the way.
Exactly. Yeah. He's writing it always as the definitive storyline.
Yeah. Which is great, and like he's had a phenomenal 17 issues, and every issue's been fantastic. And we've talked about almost every single issue on the air, which is a testament to this run.
Well, dude, when you read Black Mirror, when he was doing it with what's his name, Franco.
Yeah.
You knew that this guy was destined. Like, you were just hoping that he was going to get at least, the attention.
Yeah.
So when he came on to Batman, and being the title writer, you're like, yes, like they're actually doing something right.
Because he made Detective Comics again.
It was so awesome.
It was a phenomenal
and
run.
Jim Gordon backup. Like, that is exactly what that book should be. But don't get me wrong, Detective Comics is very good.
Yeah.
Especially doing stuff with Emperor Penguin.
I haven't picked up.
So good.
I have them. I haven't read them yet.
So good.
Because I think I read the first two and I was like, what's happening?
Dude, they're like all the like that and the Dark Knight are so good right now.
I'm gonna check them out.
Surprisingly, the Emperor Penguin stuff is so amazing.
Yeah,
they're doing something weird with him. They're gonna turn him actually into a penguin colored person. It's amazing. I swear to God.
we got 3 minutes left. You want to bang out what are the books people should read this week?
Bang it out.
Manhattan Projects.
Hell yeah, read that book.
Uncanny X-Men #1 was okay.
I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. I was really pissed off that Bleeding Cool kind of ruined it for me
with the Magneto reveal.
Yeah. I was really pissed.
Powers Bureau #1 came out this week.
Very good.
It was phenomenal, man. I really like the back to basics approach.
Absolutely.
The off time storytelling was very interesting, like how they worked it because Walker shows up in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
it was just on the cusp of being too convoluted, but it was right on.
It was right on. What else came out this week that was excellent?
Injustice #5.
Injustice #5. Your pick.
What else was good? There's a bunch of good issues there.
Yeah.
Right? Avengers Arena. Feeling that book.
Cable X-Force also was pretty good.
That was very good. There was another book that I read.
Book from last week, Red Team #1. Phenomenal.
Very good.
All right. I think we're done.
Okay.
What's next, Andrew? This week in radio? Tech? All right, everybody. This has been another episode of Behind the Counter. I'm your host, Rich Stambolian.
I'm your Huckleberry.
That guy hates Kevin Smith.